Day one at the OptiShot Academy. I sure hope Ben and Chad are up for this challenge.
So Kalin, what would the end goal be? So in a perfect world, what would you be looking to get out of these lessons?
Okay, so I would like to see myself be more consistent.
Okay.
Okay, so I have really good days where I can go to the driving range and I'll set myself up and I'll have a really good shot. And then 5 minutes later, I'm hitting the cart barn because it's like the wheels fall off on me so quickly.
So more consistent, is there anything else that you're looking for?
Once I get worked up about it and I'm struggling, I find that I start to squeeze too tight. I've actually had days where the skin has peeled away from my fingernail because I'm squeezing it so tight because I get so frustrated. It's very easy for me to lose my cool, right?
Is it the bad shots? Is that what causes all the stress?
It's just the frustration of going from, oh, that was a really good one, and then, oh, that's a huge chunk of grass and the ball is still sitting there.
We're going to train you how to be inconsistent. We're also going to train you how to make mistakes intentionally. And then as you make those mistakes intentionally, you're going to stumble upon some things that work very, very well for you. So I think typically with golf instruction and just people playing golf is they're always trying to get it perfect. So they're always trying to recreate the same swing over and over and over. But then as you train that way, if I ask that person to do something different, they can't because they only know one way.
Yeah, it's like a machine. Like I literally get up to the ball and I run through my choreography, I call it.
Yes.
There's stuff from the head down to the toes, a whole long list.
Okay. Can you go through that list for me really quick? Let's hear what you got.
You can't laugh.
I promise I will not.
Okay, so I have to make sure that my head is not down too far.
Okay.
So kind of just like looking out over the club.
Sure.
So I've been told.
Okay.
You might want to change all this too.
It's
so
all
I
good.
might have a new list at the end of this day. But
your list is going to be very short by the time I'm done with you.
so yeah, so the head and then the arms. As of right now, I've been doing the over the boob thing.
Okay.
So we're over the boob.
Yep.
And then I have to make sure when I go to swing back that I don't go around them. I literally just have to rake over them.
Okay.
Like just plow right over them.
Sure.
So there's the boob part. I have to a little bit of a turnout in my left foot.
Okay.
I have to really, really make sure I don't squeeze the club too hard.
Okay.
Because the more stressed out I get, the harder I start to squeeze. I'm supposed to not hold it any harder than a tube of toothpaste, right?
Okay. So that's where the list is at.
Yes.
Of now, right?
Yes.
Cool.
All right, so if you're watching this at home, we noticed when Kalin came into the room, Ben had started to talk to her about things that she can control and things that she can't. So at home, when you're starting this training process, you're probably going to be a lot like Kalin in that you're going to have concerns, you're going to have questions. So having said that, Kalin acknowledged that she was frustrated, and a lot of the frustration came because she was confused about what makes the ball, what makes a good shot or what makes a bad shot. So the initial part of this is just acknowledging those questions and concerns are valid. Everybody has them. Everybody feels the same way you did, and we'll get on to the next step.
So let's think about this. So let's say you're driving your car. Can you put on lipstick, drink a coffee, talk on your phone, curl your hair all while you're driving the car? What would happen? What do you think would happen?
I would probably crash.
You'd probably crash your car, right? So think about maybe what you're doing to your golf swing when you have all these thoughts racing through your head. Do you think that's helping you, or do you think it's maybe hurting you?
I'm sure that it overwhelms me, but I have to think about some of them, right? I mean, I can't just willy-nilly it.
I don't know.
What happens?
That's one of the things that we're going to find out as we continue to go through this process, okay?
Perfectionism will kill your growth. It is not something that's going to help you get better. It's actually going to put up a lot of walls and constraints around your learning. So having said that, she had talked about having a checklist, and she was trying to do all the things to make it work. So if you're one of those people, a lot of people who have played golf for a long time are, we want you to start to acknowledge that these things are going to be barriers for you and will keep you from moving forward.
Tell me about when you played your very best golf. So think of a time where you played exceptional golf. Let's reflect on that experience. So tell me what that day was like and tell me how much thinking was actually going on.
Well, I was probably drinking. That does help.
I was drinking. What does drinking typically do? It
loosens me up.
So it sounds to me that relaxation is a big part of your success recipe.
Yeah.
Would that be true?
Yeah.
I think there's a big difference maybe between thinking about something and then maybe just feeling something.
Okay.
So when you're feeling something, the mind starts to quiet down a little bit. Okay, but when we're thinking about stuff and we have a checklist running through our head, basically what happens is there's a part of your brain that gets engaged. It's called the prefrontal cortex. So anytime you're thinking, that part of your brain is going to be basically lighting up. The problem with that is it's interrupting the signal that's being sent to your muscles. So no matter how technically sound your golf swing is, the shot's going to go offline. That's why people that have really good technique can still hit bad golf shots, is because the system is overloaded.
That makes sense.
What I would be wondering is when you start to quiet down your head just a little bit, it'll be interesting to see what happens to the result. Okay, so we're going to work on just committing to one thing at a time. I'm going to show you kind of the big idea when it comes to golf, okay?
Awesome.
Are you ready?
I am.
So, first thing that we are going to do is we're going to introduce a swinging the weight concept. Okay? So essentially golf is a stick game. So you have a stick with weight on the end of it. So the big idea that we're going to introduce to you is we're just going to swing weight back and forth. Okay? So if you notice, if I just let a golf club naturally swing back and forth and my hands and my body kind of move with the weight of the golf club, what do you notice the club face does? What does it do on the backswing? Does it open or does it close?
It looks open.
Yeah, it opens, good. And then as my hands and my body float with the weight of the golf club as I come back down to impact, what happens to the face at impact?
Well, I don't see it's closing, but it's kind of just going straight forward.
Ah, it's just kind of straight now, right?
Right.
And then as the weight swings forward, what does the face do now?
Now it's starting to close a little bit.
Good.
Towards the end there.
So do we both agree if the weight is just swung back and forth naturally, the club face would always be square at impact?
Yes.
That'd be kind of cool, right? Very nice. And that requires minimal thinking.
Right.
So one of the things I'm going to have you do here initially is we are just going to work on swinging weight back and forth. And your hands and your body are just going to move back and forth with that weight, okay? So
now you want me to do, I saw you were kind of halfway doing it. You want me to just do it like that?
Let's just start halfway to start. So the one thing I want you to do here, Kalin, is I just want you to cradle the grip, just like this. And you're just going to let the weight just swing back and forth, and your hands and your body are just going to kind of float with the weight of the golf club. Very good. Okay, now we're going to lengthen it out a little bit. You ready? Except we're going to do it a little bit differently. So to take some of the perfection maybe out of this equation.
Yeah, please take it. Take it all.
You're going to swing the weight this way. So see what I just did with my club head? See how it's upside down now?
Okay.
Good. So now you just have weight at the end of a stick, right? So now I'm going to have you make sure I don't hit anything here. I'm just going to have you swing the weight back and forth with the club flipped upside down.
Oh my.
Nothing more than that. Let's see what you got.
Well, isn't this interesting? Okay, here we go.
We told you this isn't your average golf lesson.
No, nothing's behind me that I'm going to catch,
Nope, you're
right?
good.
Okay.
You're good. Good. Do it a couple more times. Just keep letting that weight swing back and forth. Good. No thoughts.
It looks so funny.
If you wanted to feel something as you do this, because I know that you asked the question, well, I just think about nothing. No, you can think about something. So what I want you to do is just kind of be aware of where this weight is.
Okay.
And you're just kind of following the weight back and forth. So you can put your attention on the weight of the club. Very nice. Good job. Is that about how fast you swing it when you play golf?
Probably.
Cool.
Why? Is it too slow?
Nope. I'm just curious. I just want you to swing at your normal speed, just like you're on the golf course. Awesome. Do one more for me, and I got another question for you. Good job. Just out of curiosity, is this how you feel when you play golf?
No, because you're making me feel relaxed, and it's nice to have my own little pocket coach telling me what to do. So
It's kind of nice, right? Okay. Do one more. I got one other question. So, are you worried about where the ball's going to go right now?
No, because there's no ball.
Good. Do you worry about where the ball's going to go when you play golf?
Actually, when I hit, it doesn't go very far. And it usually goes somewhere where I can find it. So I'm not really worried about, like, I want it to go further, but as far as like going off this way or that way, I'm not really worried about that. I want it to go longer.
Yep.
But
That's about it.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Is there anything else that's different about this experience? What about from a thinking standpoint? Are you thinking more or less right now?
It's just different. It's funny. I don't
It's
know.
just different. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Very nice. So that's a free swinging motion, right?
Yes.
So let me show you the opposite of a free swinging motion. So a lot of times in golf, most players are trying to hit the ball. Okay.
Right.
So when you're swinging weight back and forth, there's no hit in the golf swing. Did you notice that? It's just free swinging back and forth.
Yes.
Okay, so that's the whole goal when the golf ball's in front of you. You're not trying to hit the ball.
That's where the grass starts to throw into the air when you're doing it like that. I know.
Yes, grass can go flying at that point. Absolutely.
There.
Yes. So when a golf ball is in front of you, the goal is just going to be to swing the weight freely back and forth. You're not going to try to hit it. So let me show you what happens when players try to hit the ball. So when players try to hit the ball, they get tight. Okay, so watch what happens when tension is introduced to the swing. What does the club do?
It's coming up off the ground.
Comes up off the ground. Good. What would be
Okay.
the end result of this
You're
shot?
going to top it, and it's going to go like 5 feet.
Yep, and then your playing partner say you didn't keep your head down. Would that be true?
Yes.
Very nice. So, what if that wasn't the problem? What if you were keeping your head down, but what if the actual problem is just, I don't know how to manage tension when I play golf. I don't know how to swing freely. Because you told me that when you're nice and relaxed, you hit some good shots, right? And the wine helps you out with that?
Yes.
So have you ever considered when you're training to train the things that allow you to have success? Relaxation allows you to have success,
So
right?
where's the wine? Uncork one right now.
Yes, maybe 2. Think of, you do a lot of yoga, is that true?
Yes.
Do you work on breathing techniques?
Yes.
Good. What does that help you with?
Just working through the poses, and I don't know. I do it because they tell me to do it.
Yeah. Does it relax you a little bit? Or not really?
I am a very high, my energy level is high, so it's hard
Sure.
for me to relax.
Okay.
That's why I'm not the best candidate for this sport. But I'm still here,
Or maybe
and I'm
you
gonna
are, you just
I'm
don't
gonna
know
learn
yet.
to be. I'm learning to be.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. So a lot of times when you're mishitting these golf shots, it's pretty much due to you just trying to hit the ball maybe as opposed to just swinging the weight freely. Because
Okay.
when you swing the weight freely, you told me that you're nice and relaxed.
Yeah.
And we know that if we're nice and relaxed, the club is not going to work upward, right? So it might eliminate all those top shots. Okay? So here's what we're going to do next, is we're going to see what this free swinging motion actually does for you. So we're going to compare 2 experiences. So you're going to take a swing with your golf club flipped upside down, and you're just going to swing the weight back and forth.
Not with a ball there, though,
Not with
right?
a ball,
Okay.
nope. And then you're going to flip the golf club around the way that you would normally hit a golf shot with, and you're going to make another swing with no ball there. Then you're actually going to strike the golf ball. But what I want to do is I want to compare those experiences.
Okay.
So what you're trying to do is you're trying to recreate the experience that you have when the ball's not there. So that is the goal. And we're going to use a little 1 to 5 scale, okay? So a 5 would be, oh my gosh, the experience is the exact same as when the ball wasn't there.
Right.
And then I want to be like, oh my gosh, I was back to my old self. I had the checklist running through my head. I was like hitting the ball.
Old
I was
habits
freaking
die
out.
hard.
So the goal when you play golf is to get as many 5s as possible.
Okay.
So it's not to try to be perfect.
Right.
Well, actually, you could use your perfectionism mindset for this. Like, yeah, I'm trying to perfect the swing that I feel with no ball. If you want to be perfect, you can be perfect there.
Okay.
But we're not going to try to be perfect with the outcome. Because, as we talked about earlier, we know that even tour players hit bad shots, right? Everybody
seen it
in this
happen,
game
yes.
hits bad shots, and that's just normal. So just remember, if you hit a couple bad shots, it's not that there's something wrong with you. Okay? You don't need to change your swing when you hit one of those shots. Just know that you're human, and humans make mistakes, and that's okay. You
Right.
can forgive yourself.
So I don't have to constantly keep resorting back to my list. Just
You got
get
it.
over it.
You're
sort of
just
thing.
constantly trying to recreate the free swinging motion, and you're trying to get as many 5s as possible. You cool with that?
Yeah.
Is this a little different way of playing golf, maybe?
Yes.
Okay, are you ready to give it a shot? Okay, so you're going to make one swing with the club flipped upside down, hands and body just moving with the weight, free swinging motion. Oh yeah, look how beautiful that is. I love it. So you have such a nice, beautiful, natural swing. I love it.
Oh, I missed that one.
Okay, you ready? Hold on.
Flip it.
Are you trying to hit the ground, or are you just trying to swing the weight freely?
I just wanted it to feel consistent but I know I'm not supposed to do that.
It's all good, it's all good. Okay, now flip the club out around the other way. Awesome. Nice free swinging motion, just swinging weight back and forth. Very nice. One more time. Okay, you got that feeling ingrained in your mind?
There it is.
You ready to try to recreate it?
Sort of.
Totally did.
So it's just an internal experience, and just remember that the number is not going to dictate what the ball did. So the ball is irrelevant here. You're just trying to recreate what you're feeling when the ball's not there.
And the ball just is going to get in the way.
It's just in the way. Yep,
Okay.
You're not trying to hit it. The ball is going to be in the middle of motion. So right now this club is swinging back and forth. That ball is just going to be in the middle of this motion, okay?
Okay.
So you're not trying to do this. Bam! Just let the ball
Sure I
get in the
will.
way of the motion. That's okay. That's okay.
At home, when you're trying to get better, it's going to be very, very easy to try to do too much and get lost in the weeds. So the first thing for this training program to be effective for you that we're going to have to do is learn to commit to one thing. He talks about the big idea of swinging the weight. She's working on just swinging the weight back and forth. You're going to have to do this at home and see if you can get to a place of quiet without all the rules and baggage and checklist. The next thing that he's going into is exploring her hands, because she starts to talk about she can feel her hands, and grip pressure, what have you. So first thing is commit to one thing. She's starting to understand that that's something that she struggled with or haven't ever been aware of it. They're going to work on that and swinging the weight. So start this at home, see if you can quiet down and just do that one thing.
You ready to give it a shot?
Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
good grief.
So scale of 1 to 5, give me your number.
Let's go with a 1 on that.
So remember, the golf ball does not count.
No,
So
it didn't feel right.
It just didn't feel
And it
free,
didn't
like
sound
when the
right
ball's
either.
there. No problem. So don't worry about the sound.
Okay.
Don't worry about the feel of the golf ball. Just really try to recreate the freedom that you feel when the ball's not there. Okay? So flip your club upside down again. Make a swing. Okay, so tell me what was different.
I'm not. That's your job. You tell me.
I would love to be able to, but I don't know what's going on internally with you. So remember, this is an internal job here.
I know.
So we're trying to get the mindset right first, right? So what was different when you swung the weight with the club upside down versus when the ball was there? Did you experience anything different?
I think I just panic. I think I just panic when the ball is in front of the club.
And what caused the panic? Like, why did the panic occur?
I don't know. Probably just all of my thoughts of what I'm supposed to do, and I need to learn how to curb those, and I can't do that just yet.
Not yet, right? So remember, put your attention here. I want you to feel where that weight of the golf club is all the way through the swing, okay? Are
Okay.
you ready? Off you go. Swing that weight freely back and forth. Good. Awesome. Now flip the club around. Awesome. Very good. Okay, very nice. You ready to introduce the golf ball again?
Yeah, just hurry up and throw it in front of me.
I'll just throw it down mid backswing.
Keep swinging it.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
So remember, you're just trying to recreate the free swinging motion. We're going to use our 1 to 5 scale.
Okay.
Okay, good. 1 to 5. Where are you at?
Was
Was it a little higher than a 1 this
Maybe
time?
a little 2. Maybe a little bit of a 2.
So we're going to keep on going with this until you start to experience a couple 5s. Biggest thing is keep on taking your attention off the outcome. Remember,
Yeah.
as far as your numbers go, the outcome is not part of that equation. It's just the experience, okay?
Okay.
Remember, the goal is to...
Not think about where the ball's going and just distribute my weight and relax and
Hold on, time out.
I'm already
time
going
out.
through a
I'm calling
list.
TV timeout. So you're thinking about distributing weight. Did we talk about distributing any weight yet?
no, just the weight of the club I meant.
Good.
Not so much my feet. No.
So we're just trying to swing that weight freely, right?
Yes.
Very
yes.
good. Let's see what you got. Use our 1 to 5 scale.
I didn't know there was going to be a test. I would have been paying better attention.
No test.
Oh, I almost hit the tree.
That's okay. Where are we at on your scale? So remember, take the outcome out of the equation. We're just searching for freedom right now. Free swing in motion.
Now,
Where are we
give
at?
me one more. Let me try that again.
Sure.
I'm searching for freedom.
Freedom, free swinging motion.
Oh, I'm going to do the yoga breathing. Maybe that'll help. Okay, that one felt a little better.
Good. So are we up to a 3 or 4 now?
Well, let's go with 3. We don't want to get
3. Awesome. So you're slowly climbing the scale.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So what do you think would happen if you just actually worked on recreating the experience that you have when the ball's not there? What if that were the goal for a little while? What do you think will eventually happen?
that I would get to a 5.
You'll hit the ball.
Or 10.
So amazing. It'll be fun.
That
So,
is the goal.
I want to see if you can get to a 4 before we move on.
Okay. You know what? I'm grabbing it too hard. And I'm not doing that when I'm doing the practice ones. I'm
Very
squeezing
nice.
too
So
hard.
now you're actually starting to feel kind of a difference between when the ball's not there versus
Yeah.
when it is there. It's like, oh, I was squeezing a little bit at the bottom.
Yes, definitely.
So maybe there's like a little bit of a hit at the bottom of the swing. Would that be fair to say?
Yeah, and I think when I squeeze it, it messes up where it's like open or closed, right?
It could, yes.
Yeah.
Here's how I know you're starting to make progress.
Because I'm not crying or swearing.
Well,
That's a good start.
There's that too. There's no tears yet, which is wonderful. And the other thing is you didn't talk about the outcome that time. And the funny thing is that was the best outcome that you had all day. And you're like, oh yeah, the two experiences are different. I felt a little squeeze there. Now I know that you're starting to engage yourself in the process
Okay.
and not the outcome.
Okay.
You can take another one if you need to.
That's good. I got the mojo spot. That's good. Relax. Oh, good grief. Woo!
So, I saw your mouth moving there. You were talking to yourself. So, were you just swinging the weight freely, or were you giving yourself a set
I
of
thought it was
instructions
not
again?
okay to talk in somebody else's backswing. Can't I do it in my own?
Well, remember when you're talking to yourself, are you staying present to the weight of the club and swinging
No,
it freely?
clearly. I mean, that was a hot mess.
Don't worry about the ball. Just worry about the
I'm worrying about it a
experience.
little bit because I almost hit the tree.
Yeah, no problem.
I don't want to break
no problem.
anything.
No, you won't break anything, I promise.
As you can see, it's taken her a little bit of work, which is okay. It's going to take you some work at home to learn to experience the difference between the no ball experience and when the ball's in the way. So even for the best players, when that ball gets introduced, you know, it takes our attention elsewhere and it distracts us. It keeps us from committing our attention to one thing. So you're going to have to work with this, and you're going to have to start to look inward for the answers versus trying to make every shot perfect when you're at home training. So understanding that difference is the most important thing we could teach you up front.
It's all good. So does it go back to, like, those are a bunch of things that I can't control. So where my ball goes, like, I can't control where that thing's going to end up, right?
How do you control it? You can control it.
I don't. So you can ask anybody that I've ever played golf with. I hit tons of bad shots too. But I think the difference is I'm not really worried about it. I just understand that I'm human and I'm going to hit bad shots too. I mean, if you look at all of our OptiShot videos that we've shot in here, there's been a couple times I've almost killed Chad. See that dent in the
Is that
wall
why he's
right
hiding
there?
over there?
Yeah, that's from me as well. But that's just due to me being open and running experiments.
Okay.
So I'm not fearing bad shots. Like, okay, I wonder what happens when I try X, Y, or Z. And then I'm running those experiments to kind of determine what works for me. But I'm only running one experiment at a time. So right now, really the only experiment that we're trying to run is, like, I wonder what's going to happen to Kalin's golf game if she just swings the weight back and forth freely. So I'm not saying that this is going to be the only thing that's going to work for you, because there's many different things that are going to work for you. I just don't know what things are going to work for you and what
Right.
things are not. But the biggest thing is if we can just get you to the point to where you don't have a checklist running through your head and you're able to just stay present to the weight of the golf club as you swing freely, then we'll move on to the next experiment to figure out, well, what's going to work for you and what's not going to work for you.
Yeah, like I basically overwhelmed myself with all the
yeah.
things I'm trying to do
And
all
that's
at once.
totally normal, just because if you look at how much information is available to golfers now, it's very easy to overwhelm yourself. So you start hitting it poorly and you're like, well, maybe I should try this, maybe I should try that. But I can't drop what I was thinking about before, because you know, I need to think about it all the time. And the fascinating part about golfers is if you're thinking about things and it's not giving you the result that you want, why do we keep thinking about it?
That's true. That is very true.
Yeah, and that's what a lot of golfers do, is they're so afraid of just letting go of things that don't already work for them. Where we would just say, it's okay if you're not getting the outcome that you want, like, why are you still trying to
All right,
do that?
move on.
Yep, you got it. You got it. Okay. So, if you can right now, Give me a 5, and then we're going to move on to some other experiments, okay? Are you ready?
All right, just. Oh, that one felt pretty good. I'm going to give that one a 5. Oh, it didn't even work. Darn it.
That's okay. But
We didn't have it lined up, I guess.
You knew that was a 5, so...
It felt good, yeah.
The
And my hands didn't hurt after I hit. Sometimes that's a dead giveaway when my hands are, like I can feel it, like I'm squeezing too tight.
Interesting. So, did you give it a 5 because it genuinely felt like the swing when the ball wasn't there, or did you give it a 5 because you hit it so good?
It wasn't so much what I saw, but sometimes just the noise. Like I can hear, I know I'm not supposed to listen or look, but.
That's okay. What about
and
just
I think,
the experience?
honestly, I think that's part of the frustration for me is that it only takes like a small thing for it to go from like feeling good to not feeling good. And I don't know sometimes what that is. So the sound at least kind of helps me to hear that it was like a better one than the one prior.
Oh yeah, I mean it sounded amazing. I mean that was a very, very well struck golf shot. But we have to continue to kind of peel back the onion here and figure out, well, when I do that, what allows me to have that success? And one of the things that I heard you say is, well, yeah, that was different. Like my hands didn't hurt that time. Like it didn't get super tight.
Yeah.
So if you think about what's allowing you to have success right now, it's relaxation, it's freedom, right?
Right.
So if we can continue to chase the relaxation and the freedom when you're out on the golf course, then I think you're actually going to start to get the consistent strike that you're looking for, and then all the chaos that happens with that golf ball sometimes will begin to go away. So if you think of everything that you've told me today, it continues to go back to the whole relaxation piece, right?
Yeah.
Like every time I'm more relaxed, I just hit it better. So one motion or swinging the weight is one way to get there. One of the things that I keep hearing you talk about is your hands.
Yes.
So as opposed to maybe thinking about swinging the weight freely back and forth, what if we just put your attention somewhere else? What if we put your attention on the hands now?
Okay.
Okay, so are you going to try to swing the weight freely back and forth now and focus on your hands, or are you just going to focus on your hands?
Oh no, is that a trick question? Shoot.
Could be.
Now I'm going to just focus on the hands.
Very good. So we're not going to text and drive, right?
Right.
Yes. We're going to be nice and safe when we swing this golf club.
I'm smarter than I give myself credit for.
Absolutely. The cool thing about all of you golfers is you have the answers inside of you. It's just a matter of, well, we just got to dig them out.
Right.
So you already know what it takes to be successful, but you just never have looked at it through this lens, that's all. What if I told you some players do really well with a firm grip all the way through the swing? So they start firm and they keep it firm all the way through the swing.
Okay.
And then there's other players that, well, when they keep it a little bit softer through the swing, they hit it better. And then there's other players that are maybe somewhere in between those two.
Okay.
So that's what we're always talking about.
But the trick is probably to have it the same way the whole time from start to finish, right?
Possibly. Or then there's other players that maybe they start soft and then it gets a little bit tighter as they come down.
Oh, goodness. Now you're getting me all confused. So
here's where the fun
you
begins,
tell me
though.
what to do and I'll fix it.
I'm not going to tell you what to do. You're going to tell me what to do.
Okay, I'll tell you
it's
what
going
to
to be way
do.
better. So now we're going to start to run some experiments.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yep. So we're not going to assume that soft all the way through is going to work for you.
Okay.
So what we're going to do is we're going to experiment with soft, we're going to experiment with firm, and then we're going to experiment with something in between.
Okay.
So where would you like to start? Did you want to do soft, firm, or somewhere in between?
Soft. Let's start soft.
Cool.
Yeah.
So now you're not going to think about the grip. You're just going to feel it, okay? So put your attention on your hands right now. Mm-hmm. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being as tight as you can grip it, and a 1 being as soft as you can grip it, where are you at right now?
I feel like I'm like a 2.
Like a 2.
Yeah.
Okay. So now the goal is, can you just keep your attention on your hands all the way through the swing and just try to keep it a 2 all the way through? And we're just going to see what happens.
Got it.
Go 3 all the way through.
Mindless. I'm not thinking.
Okay. Give me a number. 1 to 5. Where are we at?
4?
Got a 4 again? That's
Maybe.
awesome. Good. What did, tell me the number at the top of the swing. Did it stay at a 3 or did it tighten a little bit?
No, I think I'm still tightening it.
No, that's okay. And then what about near impact?
Probably again a 4.
About a 4. That's
Yeah.
actually amazing.
It
So
is?
now you're actually keeping your attention on the grip all the way through the swing. So you can tell me what the numbers were at various parts of the swing. That's when I know that your attention's actually on the grip. That's a big step in the right direction. And then you started to get a sound that you liked again. That was cool. You ready to try something crazy now?
Yes.
So now we're going to go a 9 all the way through.
All right.
Okay.
Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze.
Okay. Tell me, 1 to 5, were you able to keep your attention on the squeeze all the way through?
I'm keeping my attention because I can literally just feel it pulling at my fingernail. Like it hurts. Like I don't like it.
Maybe don't like it. Maybe a little too tight.
It's too tight.
Cool. Let's change our number. Let's change
Okay.
our number.
So
What
we're
do you
going
wanna
for like a
change it to?
6, 6 or 7.
Yeah. So we've tried a 3. We just tried the 9. Like that's just too tight. It actually
Too
makes
much.
my hands hurt.
Yes.
So let's just change it a little bit. You want to go 6?
Okay.
Cool. So go ahead and make a couple practice swings for me.
Now I got to figure out where the 6 is.
Yeah. So one of the things that might help, go super, super tight again.
Right.
Just real quick. So let's go from a 9. Now go to the 3. Now show me something in between those. There you go.
Okay. Yeah, that feels good. I would like to get a 5 at some point today, just so I
You will.
can tell Kevin. Okay. Squeezing and relaxing and
So tell me what the 6 felt like. Were you able to maintain a 6 all the way
I think
through?
at just the very, very end. It's like I'm scared I'm gonna let it go,
Maybe lose the club a
and
little
so
bit.
I think I grip it after I've maybe even made contact with the ball. Just like at the very last second, I'm squeezing it. Is that bad?
No. You want to know what's great about this? Is once again, the goal is to make sure that your attention is on the grip all the way through. So
Right.
notice you didn't talk to me about my shoulder didn't hit my chin, my foot wasn't flared,
Didn't
my
squeeze
right
my
glute-
butt.
Yeah, I didn't go over my boobs or under my boobs. I mean, you didn't have any of that dialogue, did you? So you were totally focused on staying present to the grip.
Yes.
So could we call that a 5?
Okay. Yes, we'll call it a 5.
All
I mean, that's
right.
like perfection, though. I don't know. We're not really perfect. How about a 4.5?
4.5? I'm good with 4.5. Should we maybe say that 5's not even possible?
We gotta leave a little room for improvement.
That sounds good. And when you stayed present to the grip at a 6, it gave you an outcome that was pretty good.
Yeah.
So the contact sounded different to me. It sounded like you hit the middle of the club face and it took off like a rocket. You want to try a 6 again?
Yes.
Cool.
Just hands. Oh, good God. That was
Give me a
bad.
number, 1 to 5. Take the outcome out. So did the attention...
No, there was nothing good about how that felt. I mean, regardless of what I saw.
Yep.
Yeah.
So did the grip pressure change? Is that why it didn't feel good?
Yeah,
or
I don't
did
know
your
if I-
attention drift?
I don't know.
Can I give you some feedback real quick?
Yeah.
So one thing I notice is when the ball's not there and you're swinging the golf club back and forth, your mouth is not moving.
Okay.
So it tells me that you're just totally present to the hands and you're just really focused on, can I feel that grip all the way through? As soon as the ball's there, your mouth starts moving. And I hear
What's it doing? I mean,
I hear a checklist. So I hear you talking about
oh, okay, but
I
it's
hear
not
you-
actually moving, or
Oh,
is
no,
it?
it's moving.
It's moving.
It's moving. So
well,
I-
that's not sexy.
I can make out the words that you're saying. So you're telling
Oh,
yourself.
so I look like a
need to
crazy
relax, I need
person
to
is what
relax,
you're
I need to be-"
saying.
No. Definitely not. But it just tells me that the experience when the ball is there versus when it's
It
not
is,
there
100%.
are a little bit different. Yes. Because when the ball's not there, there's not that chatter going
Right.
on. There's not that checklist. And then as soon as the ball is in front of you, I can see the dialogue happening. Okay. So remember, the difference between feeling and thinking is when you're feeling something, there's internal silence. Your attention just on the grip, but you're not telling yourself how to do it or what to do. Sitting there in silence, just feeling it. And then you're just swinging the golf club back and forth and keeping your attention on the hands. That's all.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
Cool. So I noticed you started laughing right before you hit. Where did the attention go there?
I don't know. It's so hard. The whole not thinking.
You can't, Let me ask you this, is it hard or is it different?
It's just a hard sport. It's different because I've trained myself entirely wrong.
That's okay. I wouldn't even say that you trained yourself totally wrong. I would just say that this is just different. It's new.
It's dangerous to stay back.
Yeah, it's
Did you
not
see
even
that one?
dangerous. So one of the things that we would say is shooting 65 for 18 holes, that's hard.
I don't even know what that means. I don't keep score.
That'd be like 7 under par, right? So that's like
Oh.
PGA Tour type
Okay.
stuff, right? So that's hard. It takes an extreme amount of work, discipline. Mentally, you got to be super, super strong. But just playing golf, so hitting a ball and chasing it till it goes in the hole, that might not be so hard. But when you're trying to be perfect, perfection is hard.
Yes.
That's what's difficult. So is golf hard or is perfection hard?
Perfection's hard. And
Perfection's
I don't
really
do the
hard.
perfection thing just in golf. That's just my personality type. Like,
And that's okay. And if, like I said, you can kind of use that mindset, but just use it maybe differently. So use the perfection to keep on trying to get 5s
Okay.
as opposed to trying to hit perfect golf shots.
Right.
So you can use that perfection mindset, but just use it in a different way. Like I'm trying to really just be quiet mentally and feel that grip all the way through the swing. I'm not trying to do anything else. Does that make sense?
yes.
Very good. Okay, so you've tried 6 a few times. Is 6 maybe a little bit too hard to feel? Is that maybe why the
Well, I don't want to
mind
go up.
Don't
Going
wanna
up
go
would be hard.
Did you
yeah.
want to go down
I didn't
a
like
little
that.
bit?
Sure. Maybe not by much though. Maybe just a 5.
You want to do a 5, like
Yeah.
4.5, something like that? Ah, cool. Another thing that you could do is the breathing piece. So
Yeah.
I know that you worked a lot on breathing with yoga. What if the goal were I'm going to have a smooth exhale all the way through my swing? So don't worry about running out of breath because the swing is typically less than a second. Okay, so this experiment would look something like this. You go ahead and get in your setup position. You can go ahead and take a nice smooth inhale through the nose. Begin the exhale.
Oh, yeah.
And can you keep the exhale smooth all the way through the swing?
So he's taken away one more thing for me to think about. I'm not allowed to breathe anymore now. Just can't even breathe now.
Yeah. No, you can focus on the
No,
breath.
I
You
like
can focus
that.
on the breath.
I probably maybe even hold my breath instead of.
Yeah. So that would just be a different way to manage tension. So now your attention is not on the grip anymore.
I don't think I've really given much thought to my breathing.
Yeah, no
Never
problem.
made the
Most people
list.
Yeah. The
But
breathing
you're
never
right.
made the
I
list.
actually probably hold my breath, and that's probably not
Yeah,
good.
possibly. We're just going to put your attention on the breath, and we're going to see what happens. So,
So
take a
I'm
couple
forgetting
back
about the
swings.
hands.
Yep.
Now I'm just
No
thinking-
hands, no swinging the weight. You're just focused on the breathing. Good. Do that one more time, and this time, as you're focusing on the exhale, can you just do it through the mouth as opposed to the nose?
Okay.
Good. Tell me what the breath was like throughout that swing. Did it stay smooth? Did it get tight?
No,
What was the
actually, it felt
experience
good,
like?
and it's very easy to, like with the hands, it was harder to tell, but with the breathing, it was like I forgot about everything, and I was really focused on the breathing. I don't know why that was
Ooh.
easier for me to lock in on that than the hands. I don't
I'm
know.
guessing in yoga, so they always refer to that as a cleansing breath,
Hmm.
right? So really what they're referring to there is you're just cleansing your head of thoughts.
A lot of them running
So
around
that,
in there.
That was actually really cool. So when I watched you make that swing there, it looked like there was inner silence. That was awesome. Same thing, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Ooh. It looks to me like you just
I
found
honestly
something
think
that you
I honestly think I've always held my breath.
like. Possibly. And typically when you hold your breath, what do you think's happening from a tension
Nothing
standpoint?
good, I'm sure.
You got it.
So you can start to see the shift happen. She's getting some new ahas or insights where she's understanding what helps her. She's started to talk about her hands. She's talking about her breathing. She's really starting to talk more about her than she is the outcome. So in our mindset videos, Ben and I would talk about the distinction between process versus outcome. So now at this point, Kalin's really getting involved in the learning process where she's starting to pay attention to herself. She's starting to be able to answer Ben's questions way clearer without taking attention to whether it was a good one or a bad one. The coolest thing is she started to acknowledge that there was no right way or wrong way, so she's beginning to become open-minded, which is going to open up many, many possibilities for her moving forward as we start to coach her and help her get better. As you go through this, you're going to have to start to open up your mindset to be more open-minded, and that the answers are going to come to you through the process versus being given the answer from someone. So we have the experiments, we have the different skills that you're going to need to work on, but ultimately it's going to be you who comes up with the answers that help you.
Give me a number.
Not feeling pretty good. Let's go with the 4.
4, why not a 5?
I don't want to be perfect. I feel like there's no room for improvement if I go with the 5. 4.5.
Hold
4
on,
and a half.
let me make sure I heard this right. The girl that wants to be perfect doesn't want to be perfect?
When I start to look like Tiger Woods.
That dude's not perfect.
But you're right. Okay, so you're asking me to rate just the breathing, and the breathing felt good. So we'll go with the 5. I'm forgetting how this is working.
Whoa. Did you get that on camera, folks? We got a 5.
We do.
Amazing.
Should I do a cartwheel and celebrate?
Heck yeah. Don't ask me to do one. If you want to see what perfection looks like, it's not my cartwheel. You want to take a practice swing again? You want to right in the ball? I'll leave it up to you. Awesome.
That really does feel good, the breathing thing. How did I miss that one? All the other stuff I had on my list, and I just never even thought about the breathing part. Oh, well, excuse me.
Hold on.
I know I wasn't supposed to look,
Wait
but
a
it sounded
second.
too good. I had to look.
Is that 2 5s in a row?
I feel like that was a 5 for sure.
Here's the thing that I loved about the breathing. It was amazing. So as you were exhaling, like the chatter went away.
Okay.
So those last 2 swings were the first one that I've seen all day where there wasn't chatter. Because every other swing that I've seen today, like I said, the mouth is moving. Like you were giving yourself instructions.
There's no doubt. There's no doubt.
Yes, and then that
It's like
breath,
running commentary going through my head.
That is true. So the breath just flushed all that garbage out.
Yeah.
That was super cool. And you told me you play your best golf when you're relaxed. And that's a way to get you into that state.
Okay.
All right, we can see Kalin's making some progress. She's doing great. So she's starting to acknowledge that breathing is easier for her than playing around with her hands. So Ben had experienced experiments with the swinging with one motion concept, different grip pressures, and then ultimately the breathing to get her more relaxed and in a more athletic state. So she acknowledged, and she knew better than anybody, that breathing was easier for her. So that's why Ben and I call them experiments, is you're going to have to determine what helps you the best and what doesn't. If it doesn't help you, it's okay. Just try to identify the things that do help you. Golf is a game of subtraction, so we're trying to deduce your number of strokes. So basically, Kalin's learning to subtract her choreography or a checklist that she had and really just get down to committing to one thing. She's doing a great job.
So tell me what your biggest takeaways from this session were.
Well, I honestly think, now that you've brought it to my attention, that I think I've been holding my breath. So that probably would explain a lot. But I love your idea of just whittling things down to one item to focus on. And if it's the hands, or if it's the breathing, or if it's my butt, just start with one thing and focus only on that.
I love it. And see if you can just keep your attention on that one thing all the way through the swing. So we have to start to come up with some ideas that are going to eliminate your checklist or all that chatter that goes on. So you've told me many times today that you play good golf when you're relaxed. So we have to figure out different ways to get you into that state to begin to play your best golf. So the fascinating thing is, oftentimes what allows people to have success on the golf course, they don't focus on it. So what do you do when you play your best golf? Well, I'm relaxed. Okay, well, what are you doing right now with your swing? Well, you know, my takeaway, I got to do this, then I got to engage my right butt, then I got to go over the boots, then I got to do this, and then I got to do that.
Overthinking.
As opposed to focusing on the things that actually allow you to have success. So can we get better at flushing out all the thoughts? Can we get better at getting you more relaxed throughout your swing? Can we get you better at focusing on things that you can control versus can't control? So if we can continue to go down this lane, I think you're going to have a lot more fun when you play golf.
Oh, absolutely. I'm certain of it. I'm feeling very optimistic. And I don't want it to be winter, so I can get out and practice.
No kidding. Thank you so much for having the courage to get up in front of the camera and do this. So I know it's not like this was pre-recorded. I mean, this is first take. This is organic, as you like to put it.
Yes.
And I know that it does take a lot of courage to get up in front of the camera and do that. So thank you so much for coming out. And
thank you.
I can't wait to see what happens moving forward.
Okay, this is the best part. So the lesson has wrapped up. Ben asked her takeaways, and she had talked about that she felt like she was holding her breath mostly when she was playing golf versus being able to let that breath go and go ahead and make a free swinging motion. She had experienced a difference between the long checklist and one thing, and then the last thing that she said, the best thing, is that she's feeling very optimistic. So these emotions of optimism and hope are going to be very, very important for her to set up her next step. So at home, be patient with yourself. At first, you're going to have to learn just to commit your attention to one thing. It is the very most important thing that we could help you with. Once you start to understand the difference and you can do it, it's going to set you up for major radical shifts in learning moving forward. At home, be patient with yourself. Learning is a process. It's not a quick fix. As you can see through the video here, Kayla really, she was spectacular with working through everything, and we thank her for having the courage to get up here and do this. Keep up your training. We'll look forward to seeing you the next time at the OptiShot Academy.